Game 2 in the books, and it goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. Looks like we're going to have another shutout series. One team's going to shut out the other one. We'll break it down. We'll talk some hockey, and maybe there'll be some cute puppies in here as well. Right now on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday night, September 8th, 2020. Game 2 of the Western Conference Final in the books, and this one was a tough one to watch if you're rooting against Vegas. If you are a Vegas supporter, and we know that there are some of you there, and some turncoats from the Sharks. Congrats on the victory tonight. But we'll break it down here on the Teal Town After Dark. This is your live and interactive post-game. We'll chat with us and fellow hockey fans on the YouTube chat, on the page or the app. And follow us on the social, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, of course, Discord. And for more Sharks content, hit us up at tealtownusa.com. Joining me tonight is Kevin Lacey. Kevin, it's like you haven't moved since the last show. Kevin, what's going on? Kevin, there's a trade. Kevin. Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda.
No, that didn't work either. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to run solo, folks. So with that, good evening, everyone. I am Eric Curry. You can follow me at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the little adjustment here. Pardon me for just a jiffy. Gotta get situated to make sure we get some puppy love in here. There you go. There you can see the pups now. Marlo and Sharky, just in the instance there. Forgive the little squeakiness. So, let's talk about this game where the Vegas Golden Knights came to play. They had, I know it's 3 years, but classic. Kevin, I knew it. I was hoping you were going to do that. Well, you're welcome, Kevin. Appreciate you can join us in the super chat tonight. Marlo and Sharky are just embarrassed right now. They just don't want to look and see what's going on here. But classic, even though it's only year 3 of the Golden Knights, classic Vegas hockey where they score within the first 5 minutes of the game. Paul Stastny with a tip-in from Max Pacioretty and Peter McNabb. That would be something that Braden McNabb to make it 1-0 Vegas in the second period. And then a little bit later, William Karlsson gets on the power play and scores on. That makes it 2-0 Las Vegas, as my Scarlet has decided to go nutso on me again. Pardon that. Then Tomasz Nosek with probably one of the nicest goals you'll see. Would say to make it 3-0, and that was pretty much it for it, folks. Unfortunately, on this night, Vegas just dominant in this game. Robin Leonard gets the start in net, gets another shutout, his 4th of the playoffs. Yes, you had one game where Marc-Andre Fleury would get the start, and there you go. They peaked up for a second, and Robin Leonard gets into this one with another strong performance, a 24-save shutout in this one, but it was all Vegas all the time. Ryan Reeves comes back from his suspension to lay out some hits. Marchessault fell down a few more times, cried like a little baby. Ooh, I hope I went a womp in the third period, which was probably the weakest slashing calls I've ever seen in a playoff game. But hey, I guess it works. I guess that's what you get $500 million for, right? Well, can't wait to see what happens with the Seattle Kraken. Yeah, Felix, you're right. Vegas scoring one of the sexiest goals of the playoffs. Yeah, definitely. Indeed. So Why, hockey gods? Why? They like to torment. They like to torment. Come on now. It's why Canada hasn't brought home a cup for a Canadian team in 27 years, for sure. Vegas is probably the most disciplined team in the playoffs, right, folks? They go 1 for 6 on the power play. Didn't have any penalties, none. It's amazing. They were just the greatest angels ever, right? They had. Wait a minute. They had a booking call. Oh, NHL.com. You are so wonderful. You had 2 penalties on Braden McNabb in the second period that you totally missed. So 0 for 2 for Dallas tonight on the power play. Indeed. So this series is tied up at 1-1. Vegas scoring a goal on a manned net for the first time since Game 7 against Vancouver. I must say, it's just their second goal in their last 4 games on a manned goaltender, on a manned net, I should say. It got so crazy that Jake Ottinger made his NHL debut, and with that, making history, the first goalie in 55 years, or in other words, folks, in the expansion era, to get a start or to get into an NHL crease and make your NHL debut this late into the Stanley Cup playoffs, whether it's Stanley Cup semifinal, conference final, whatnot. Definitely wouldn't expect it. Let's put it that way. And he took, let's see here, only took 5 shots on goal in the third period. Vegas dominating that second period with their 3 goals in 10 minutes, outshooting the outshooting the Stars 19-7. Overall, the shots were 32-24 in that one. Just all around a classic Vegas victory for sure this evening. That gets the series tied up at 1. Kevin, we're gonna have to give him some foreseen points. Some foreseen points. He said, and I quote. And I quote here, let me pull up the quote because, it's good. Watch out for Vegas in Game 2. I mean, kind of saw that coming, but, it is what it is. We'll go to our analysts here, Marlo and Sharky, just hanging out. Guys, what did you take tonight from Dallas tonight? I think they needed to get some more pucks on net. I think also... wouldn't you say that, where was Joe Pavelski a little bit? Yeah, it was a little rough for Pavs, but that's okay. It's still early. He can't do everything. And honestly, I think Jim Neal, the Stars president, needs to go on a rant about Ben and Sagan to get their crap together. I think that's more than fair, wouldn't you say? I mean, let's look at it. Jamie Benn, he had some good plays tonight, but he was a -1, took a penalty, gave away 2, but he got 2 back. 60% of the face-off circle. He just didn't score. But no shots tonight. Tyler Seguin had 4 shots, but what also, I would hate to say, had a bad defensive breakdown where it led to one of the Vegas goals tonight. Alexiak was down the corner. Sagan was covering the point, and then Sagan decided to pinch in. That led over to a turnover. It led to Klingberg being out high and dry, and led to, one of the Vegas goals tonight. As for Pavs, let's see. I'm trying to pull it up here. As for Pavs, he had no shots, had 3 hits, gave away 1, took away 1 in 16 minutes of ice time, only 36% from the face-off circle. Yeah. Kevin, you're right. Dallas has gone to the dogs. Amanda saying hi to Marlo and Sharky. They are still pumped up. Marlo is ready to get out there himself to get out. Yes, you are, Marlo. Yes, you are. Hi, Marlo. Hi, bud. I know. It's crazy. Sharky, not having it. Not having it at all. So, so this series is tied at 1. Let's take a look at the bracket here. So game 3 in the West will be Thursday at 5 p.m. And essentially, we're playing every day now, folks, at 5 p.m. Series tied at 1 between Dallas and Vegas. Out in the East, that series will resume tomorrow, game 2, as the Islanders try to show some face after getting destroyed 8-2 last night. They'll play Wednesday at 5 p.m. on NBCSN. So, jersey of the night. Well, I am currently sweating in a Dan Boyle game-worn jersey from 2010, from the playoffs from 2010. Yes, this is the jersey he wore when he put the puck in his own net against Colorado. Absolutely. There we go. Look at that. As one of our former colleagues would say, Gentry Alexander, that's Dan Mother Puckin Boyle. Gent, good to hear from you, bud. Great to hear from you. All the best on your move to Dublin. So, folks, 6 likes, appreciate it. What do you want to talk about? Got, 18 minutes to kill. Vegas wins. Shocking. You know. Yeah. So, we can talk about how the NHL is moving up the draft, which, you know, I find quite interesting. So it looks like that a lot of things are escalating quickly, and it's escalating quickly and fast. I guess how everything is going to go down is let's see. NHL draft is moving ahead a couple of days. First round will be on October 6th. And the rest of the draft, which is usually the case, is on October 7th. So less than a month away, we will draft. So let's see here. So October 6th and 7th, which is Tuesday and Wednesday, which is probably the first time in a long while that it's been in the middle of the week. That's just craziness to do. And free agency apparently going to begin on Friday the 9th, according to NHL insiders here. So that is going to be a fun one, I think. Well, I don't know. it's something to see to be, but that week will be interesting. You can tell all your loved ones they are not going to see you during that week for sure. Do you think the bubble should be in Edmonton or Toronto? Well, apparently, amenities-wise for the players, the Eastern players were saying Toronto. You definitely have a lot more room in the new building, even though, Scotiabank Arena is, 21 years old. You have that, but Edmonton's ready to go. So, yes, moving up the track. They moved up the draft 3 days instead of just giving the players a day or two to rest in between games. Couldn't tell you, bud. Couldn't tell you. I think at the rate that they're going, they might try to get this season started off in November. I don't know. I don't understand why they need to rush onward to it. It makes no sense. But Hey, whatever they're doing, I know they're trying to save face and everything. Uh, who knows if they're going to start? Kevin, you did mention, do you think the bubble should be in Edmonton or Toronto? Matter of fact is, will there need to be bubbles to start next season? That, my friend, is going to be interesting. You know, uh, yeah, why not? Rob Iman, let's take it. Fact or fiction? Ottinger gets the start in Game 3. No, I think you give. Kudobin a rest and let him start Game 3. I really don't see the necessary things about starting an unproven goaltender. Granted, oh, we definitely saw that with Thatcher Demko, and look what that happened to. Oh boy, yep. So here, you know what? I'm gonna mute myself, and I'm gonna let you enjoy Marlo and Sharky for a moment while I take a swig of water. All right, there we go. Now we can all enjoy it. Uh, Rob Ivan, I thinking his NHL is rushing due to NBC's rights to the NFL. Well, you definitely have a conundrum going down on Thursday with game 3 of the Western Conference Final being at 5, unless there was some sort of change. I can't see that happening, but quite interesting to see that they would schedule a Western Conference. Really, Kevin? Really? No. Let's not have a sing along with Puck Guy. We're not going to do that. You know. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have Game 3 of Vegas and Dallas at 5 p.m. on Thursday. 5 p.m. roughly the same time that the first NFL game of the season will get underway. You know, um, I don't know. I'm not sure. So you're having the overlap with the finals. The interesting one will be how the finals are scheduled on NBC and NBCSN. Usually, games 2 and 3 are scheduled on NBCSN or the cable channel, whatever, even if it was on ESPN or something like that. Now, you kind of run into the issue of going up against the NFL for the very rare time of doing this. You know, could you potentially see, the entire Stanley Cup final, or like the cup being presented on the cable channel for the first time in years, like really long time? Um, would be quite an interesting conundrum for the NHL. Of course, I would think the NHL kind of knows where their place is on the spectrum of the NBC sports networks. I would just hope that the NHL ponies up for the ratings boost and the publicity. Hopefully, uh, with all the promos on Sunday Night Football, I would hope they would try to promote it hard so they can get some love and get some of that revenue back before we get really bad. So, oh no, Rob, no, I'm not saying they get bumped. No, I'm saying that the hockey's going to get bumped over to the cable channel. There's no way that that would happen. I'm sure the NFL would probably block that move on either form. So, what else do we got, folks? I don't think we got too much to talk about news wise. We get game 2 of Islanders and Lightning tomorrow. That could be a nightmare for the Islanders after that 8-2 drubbing, for sure. We interesting to see how they come back. And who do you start? Do you start Varlamov? Do you start Grice? I don't know. I would think they would have to figure out how in the world to do that for sure. Some other news today: Mark Recchi was hired as an assistant coach for the New Jersey Devils under Lindy Ruff's staff. He comes over to the Devils for after 3 years in Pittsburgh, so get that for sure. Again, the NHL has put out that they have had 0 tests positive for COVID-19, so they are doing very well for that, for sure. Kevin saying, do you feel the Sharks should assign more of their players to European leagues as they begin later this week? At the rate that it's been going, why not? If they want to do that, you definitely. I would hope that that the league and the teams know the actual calendar as to when the season's going to get going. I mean, now that you've moved up the draft a couple of days to October 6th and 7th and having free agency on October 9th, and granted, that's a really tight spread for guys who just finished playing the seasons, and for that matter, for people who aren't playing in seasons. I mean, now the kids are in school. You're gonna have to move them if you're a free agent. I mean, that's interesting to see what the heck they're gonna do, because it's such a tight turnaround, and it's rough. It's really rough because of everything that's going on. Granted, it's gonna be a crazy few days. We're gonna get the cup presented. We're gonna have the draft. Then we're going to go into free agency. There's going to be a boatload of trades because nobody was expecting COVID to happen and having a flat cap for the next couple of years. I think especially with the Sharks. So it's... I get where you're coming at, Kevin, because you want to get some ice time, and right now that's just not available here. It's just not available yet. So I don't know what the protocol is, and that's kind of the thing up in the air. They've kind of left the 7 teams that didn't make the playoffs out in the cold, unless there's something we know otherwise. I'm not sure what we could do. And so if you send them over to Europe, you're going to send them over for 6 to 8 weeks, and then call them back. Plus for that matter, you're going to have to quarantine once you get back over. And that's a key issue here. Is the time frame. If the time frame is going to be really tight, I can't see them doing it. I think it's a great idea to get them some ice time and some gameplay in, but it's going to be tough to see. The other thing too is how tight the schedule is going to be. I mean, how many back-to-backs are there going to be in the league? So, and yeah, Kevin, Sharks did a good job in jumping early, sending Barracuda players overseas. Curious their thoughts on the NHLers. Like Joe Thornton, who's, by the way, is an unrestricted free agent. Don't forget that. He's not completely signed to the Sharks right now. Will he go to Toronto? I don't know. We'll see on that one. Yeah, I think at this point, I'm not sure if you send anybody else over there just because of just the time frame. This thing gets finished up, and then all of a sudden it says, "Hey, we're going to start play." Black Friday, which is NHL broadcasting day that they would normally have. So, the other thing too I found interesting, and this goes to the to my access to NHL graphic files. They've already put out the logos for the 2021 Global Series. It makes me wonder if they're going to send the players later in this season. If they do, that's just rough, and I'm not sure if anybody would want to go down and do that. I could see it the following year, next season, when they get close to being back on schedule. We'll see what happens on that one for sure. But again, the draft will be October 6th and 7th. Free agent will begin October 9th. So you're saying you won't see your boyfriend for a few days. I'll just be very busy. Sorry. Thank you for understanding. So, with that, even Marlowe's tired, so is Sharky. I think that will do it for here. Hey, if you missed anything or want to watch this again, check us out at tealtownusa.com or check us out on your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and always available at tealtownusa.com. You definitely had the most recent episode of The Technologists go on, so definitely check us out for that. And all the interviews we did during the pause, we interviewed everybody from John Scott to Sonia Tydinko, which sounds like she wants to start a Teal Town fitness group. So be on the lookout for that one, folks. I'm already sweating in a Dan Boyle jersey. I don't know what the heck she's got in her mind, and frankly, it kind of scares me, be honest. But, got to get rid of the root beer belly, got to fit into the hockey jersey a little bit more. So we will see about that. But in the end, we have a game, and it went to the Vegas Golden Knights 3-0, the final there. That series, again, will be on, where are you? We'll continue Thursday at 5, Game 3. Wednesday at 5 tomorrow, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final between Tampa Bay and the Islanders. And that's when you'll see me back on here. Hopefully I'll try to get him into co-host. These guys kind of fell asleep on me. How dare they? I mean, come on. At least they're not snoring on Discord, right? Right, folks? Right? So that'll do it. You can follow me on Twitter and the Instagram at PuckGuy14. You can always check us out on our social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. We do all kinds of stuff. But, of course, hit that subscribe button right up here. Yeah, right there. Check our content over to the right. Appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real teal. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. It's super smoky outside in Northern California. And have a good night, everyone.